Welcome to Simply Made by Erin, my crochet channel. Today we're making these cute little poinsettia dish scrubbies. I shared a sunflower and a daisy over the last few weeks, and today we're starting Christmas in July and we're doing this fun Christmas poinsettia flower. I did it in traditional red and white colors with a green center, but you can do any color you want. So all you'll need for this pattern is some nylon scrubby yarn. I use Stitch Soak Scrub, and it's by Lion Brand Yarns. This is a worsted weight yarn. I use 2 strands held together to get this really nice thick scrubby. This yarn, like I said, is 100% nylon. It's machine washable. It dries super fast. So after you do your dishes, you can just wring it out and the water drips right through super easily. It has a really great scrubbing texture. You can also use it as a gentle body exfoliator as well. So let me go over the colors really fast. The white is called Coconut Milk. The green, I believe, is Chartreuse. And then the red is Poppy Red. So when you're using 2 strands held together, you can pull from the center and the outside of the skein. With this yarn, pulling from the center, it does create a little bit of a tangle. So an easier method, since you're using such a small amount of yarn, is just pull the yardage you need from the beginning and then put the 2 strands held together so you don't get a bunch of tangles. And for the exact yardage, if you have something to weigh it on, like a small scale or something, that makes it even easier so you don't have to estimate what you need. So you will also need a J 6mm crochet hook. If you have a white hook, this makes it really handy to see the colorful yarn on your hook. This yarn, because it has these little holes, the nylon has the little holes, it can be kind of hard to see, but a nice bright white hook for the colorful colors works really well. Obviously with the white, you're not going to see it very well on the white hook, but if you have a metal hook for that, you can use that. You will also need a tapestry needle to weave your ends in, a pair of scissors, and a stitch marker is not required, but it is helpful if you're having trouble seeing the stitches. You can mark the beginning stitch of each round with a stitch marker. And then a flexible measuring tape is helpful. Gauge is not really important on this pattern, but my finished size is about 4 to 4 1/4 inches across, just so you can kind of check to see if we're on track. You don't want it super loose. You want a little bit tighter of a stitch, but you don't want it too tight either. If it's too loose, it doesn't really hold up well or give you good structure for a scrubby. And then if it's too tight, all of your leaves will just curl and it will be a big curled mess. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're working on it. I also like to use these clear cellophane bags to wrap my scrubbies in. This is perfect if you're selling in a market or brick and mortar store or something like that. You just put it in the little bag. This bag is a 4x4. It has a little sticky seal. And then I make these labels on Avery online. This is label 22817. And I just use these little round labels. I designed these on Canva. And I just stick it right on the center of the back. Here's kind of what I put on there. You can put whatever wording you want. All this is linked on my blog post with the free written instructions as well. So I'll link that in the caption below and all this information will be there. I'm going to get all set up and we're going to start our little scrubby. Okay, so I have my 2 strands of yarn held together in the color Chartreuse. Leave a tail long enough just to weave your ends in. I usually do about 6 to 8 inches. Take your tail and wrap it around your finger twice to create a magic circle. This is also known as the magic ring. Then I insert my hook under all those loops, yarn over, pull through all the loops, chain 1 to secure the circle. Now we're going to work 12 single crochet into that circle. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Now, like I mentioned before, marking that first stitch with the stitch marker is helpful. It's not required, but this yarn can be a little bit hard to see. So I'd go ahead and mark it if I were you. Okay, now 11 more single crochet into that circle. Okay, so again, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, when you're working with this yarn, you want to be kind of loose. You want it to just kind of flow off your hook. If you get things too tight, it's really hard to finish your stitches because it gets kind of caught up. So just kind of let it easily glide off your hook. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the 12 single crochet, and then I'll meet you here and show you how we finish this circle off. Okay, so I completed 12 single crochet. Go ahead and pull that center tight. And now we are going to fasten off that main color, color A. Pull that tail all the way through, and we're going to join with an invisible join. So thread it on to your tapestry needle, and then you can go ahead and remove your stitch marker, but keep track of where that stitch is, because we're gonna join it through that first stitch. So you place your needle from front to back under that first single crochet, and you just pull all the way through like this. Then you find the last stitch of the round. It's kind of tricky to see with this yarn, but here's where my last stitch was. Okay, and we're working under the back loops only, so you need to find the back loops. So here's my front loops. There's the back loops. And then from front to the back, just pull through the back loops only. If you're having trouble seeing that, it's not a huge deal. Just get it as good as you can. This yarn is really forgiving, so you probably won't notice a difference. And then you're just going to take your tails and weave them through. Make sure that circle, the magic ring, is nice and tight. When I'm weaving my ends in, I always weave back and forth in the opposite direction 3 times to get them nice and tight before I cut off. So this way, and that way again 3 times. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and I'll meet you back here and go ahead and get set up with your second color for the petals. Okay, so the center is finished, and we're going to join the new color for the petals. So I have poppy red, 2 strands held together. So you're going to find the first single crochet of the round. If you have trouble determining what the first single crochet is, it doesn't matter, just join it into one of the single crochets. So put your hook in, put your yarn on your hook, and just pull up a loop just like that. Just kind of use your hand to hold that tail down until we finish the first petal. So then we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a triple crochet is the first stitch. So a triple crochet, also known as a treble crochet, you yarn over twice. We're going to insert our hook into that same single crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, the next one is a quadruple crochet, also known as the double treble. So this one we yarn over 3 times. Insert your hook into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Okay, and then we're going to yarn over, let me try that again. So yarn over 3 times, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through the last 2. So that creates that extra long stitch. Okay, now we're gonna do the chain 2 picot. So chain 2, 1, 2, and then you slip stitch in that beginning chain 1. If you turn your work slightly, you'll find there's a little hump on the back of the chains right here. If you can find that hump, slip stitch into that hump instead of just into the chain. It just creates a little bit of a nicer finish. If you can't find that back hump, just slip stitch into the chain. Just like that, and it creates the little tip, the little points of the petals. Okay, now we're gonna work another quadruple crochet. So 1, 2, 3, yarn over 3 times in that same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, it's fine if you have kind of a gap right here. It'll close up once we finish. Okay, now a triple crochet. So yarn over twice, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then slip stitch into that same stitch, and that finishes that first petal off. Okay, and it's fine if they curl in a little bit. It's supposed to do that. You can make them flatter, you kind of make them curled. You can see how tight these are together. They're kind of supposed to be curled and get really tight like that. Okay, so basically we just repeat that around. So we're gonna skip the next stitch. Make sure you kind of pull the leaf off to the side and skip the right stitch. Let me take my hook out and show you. So the skipped stitch is this one right here. The leaf, sorry, not the leaf, the petal kind of hides it. Make sure you skip this one, and then we're just gonna work another petal right into this one. So let's do one more petal together. Okay, so skip that one and then slip stitch into that next stitch. And then we're essentially gonna do exactly what we just did. We're gonna chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then triple crochet. So yarn over twice, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and now the quadruple, yarn over 3 times, insert your hook into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and then chain 2, picot. So chain 2, kind of turn to find the back loop, and then slip stitch into that. Okay, and then quadruple crochet. So yarn over 3 times, insert your hook into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, now we're gonna do a triple crochet. So yarn over twice, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then slip stitch, and then skip the next stitch, slip stitch in the next, and just repeat that all the way around, and you'll have a total of 6 petals. You'll have 1 stitch remaining at the end. I'm going to finish up and meet you here, and I'll show you how we finish off. Okay, so I finished the 6th petal. I'm going to go ahead and fasten off. You just need a tail long enough to weave your ends in. So you can see I have 1 stitch left. Just pull your tail through, and then I thread it, and I just go ahead over here to where that first leaf started, and I just put my needle from the front to the back and just kind of pull to finish that off. And just weave your tails in. I go kind of the base of the petal in that same color, and again you just go back and forth in the opposite direction 3 times before you cut off. So I'll go ahead and do that off camera, but you're basically finished. You can kind of adjust the petals. They should be kind of crowded like this, and you just have that really cute flower. Again, you can package them nice and neat. Here's kind of what I put on my labels, and you're all set. I hope you guys have a great day.